Getting started soon. Second. I'm gonna clear my work area a little bit and then we're just gonna get into it. Okay. And swoop. Hello. Another day, another feature, I guess, to work on. More bugs to fix. I fixed the terrain last night off stream. So now we can actually paint stuff, which is cool and it's very usable. So we have different brush sizes, so I can make this bigger. I don't think I can undo stuff. So you see the size of the brush there. I can make it smaller. I can change the texture that's being used. I need to change the brush size a little bit because it's too small, honestly. It's not working correctly. And let me move the inspector somewhere where you can see what I'm doing. First of all. So now in here, we can select the type of texture we want to use. So 0 is grass, and then 1 is dirt, and then 2 is stone. And it works pretty well in game. It looks pretty nice. And this is using a texture atlas now. I reworked it off stream to use the texture atlas. Actually, I think I started on stream. So now we can have as many textures as we want. Right now I'm setting it to a limit of 16, but theoretically we can have as many textures as we desire. So I believe there's this, where are you? Here we go, we have our texture atlas right here. That is basically all the different textures you can use. I'm being lazy and actually using only one row, but we can theoretically implement it to support way more, like all of these textures, tiles. For right now, I'm just gonna worry about this row because that's probably the only thing I ever need. So today, I want to work on usability. So this is fine, selecting the current texture this way. I can know what texture corresponds to what index, whether it's index 0, 1, 2, and just memorize it. But I'd rather have a thing that shows the textures that that shows what we're selecting, and have it where we can just click on it from a drop down or something. So I think what we're gonna do is do custom inspector stuff where we take the atlas we have here, chop up the individual sprites there, and then display those sprites as the options in like as far as buttons. And when you click on the button, it selects the index instead of the slider thing, which seems very unintuitive and annoying. So yeah, that's the plan for today. I already had an idea of how to go about it. I was dreaming about it last night, so I think we have it. I think it's solved in my brain. We're gonna find out today if it's actually the case. And the first thing we want to do is have a public list of texture 2Ds. And this is going to be the tiles. And then system collection, hide an inspector because we don't want to actually show this. You're making a new list. And then on a init, what we're going to do is for int I equals this, no, less than 16. We're going to iterate, build a new texture, and add it to this list. So we're going to do tile equals, and then we're going to do terrain. What are we doing? Texture atlas. Or actually, new texture 2D 32 by 32. RGBA 32 format. MIP chain none. This works fine. Cool. And then we're gonna build this from. What does this do? Set pixels 32. No, MIP level no. We're gonna do something. We're gonna do for. This is the current index we're at. Int x. I wish there's gotta be a way to just look at the block of memory and just throw it there, but for now we're gonna do it the slow way because it's fine. It's editor. It's not that crazy. I don't care about that cost. X 16. What's the resolution you're working with? 512. 4. But we're not iterating through that. We're iterating through 32. Yeah, we're going through those pixels within a cell. And y equals 0. Y less than 32. Y plus plus. And then we're going to do, at some point, tile that apply. And then we're going to add this tile to our tiles.add. So here we just have to set the texture, and then this is fine for a single cell. But we also have to do an X offset. X plus I times 32. And this should create set pixel. No. We actually have to get pixel. Where's our atlas? Tile atlas, get pixel, and then we're gonna set our pixel. Set pixel, and it's not going to be color white, it's going to be this pixel color we just retrieved. And then this parameter is no longer needed because we're not setting, we're getting here. That should work, and I think so. That's the first part, which is parsing the atlas to get the textures, and that's like the first step is parsing the atlas, this atlas, and then generating a texture for each individual cell here in the bottom row up to 16. That's cool. Now the last step is going to be replacing this slider with instead buttons that have those textures. And that's going to be in the custom editor we're writing here. So let's go to here, our little init button. We're going to do for. We have source, we have tiles, we're going to do for each, or 4 on them so we can have the index information. No, not for each, I said 4, right? Tiles, 4, yes. Cool, and then we're going to do a if what are we doing? We're doing GUI button, I believe, or layout. Is there a button with texture? How do you do that? I forgot. There we go. There's an override there where the image is. Button. Source. Tiles. I. And then, yeah, so that button is pressed. We set source dot current selected texture equals I. Sweet, and then we should be able to run it. And once you run it, we should be able to see some. We press init, and things didn't work. It's not readable. We have to make the atlas readable. That's easy. That's an easy bug to fix. We just have to go to here, and then set this toggle to rewrite. Apply it. We're good to go. Is there a read-only thing? No, there's no permission like that. Whatever. Who cares? Go back to here. Oh, beautiful. And now we have our textures, guys. Like, how was that? 11 minutes, and we already have this feature added. So now I can select this, and we're painting with that. I can select this, and we're painting with this. I can select this, and dude, that's so sick. I told you at the top, like last night. I'm kind of tired right now because while I was sleeping, I just dreamt of how to solve this issue, and I just been chomping at the bits all day to just get in code and do the thing, and it just works. And then you see all the empty slots here from the other tiles that are not being supported. That's sick. Honestly, I should probably make it be a grid to be clean, but who cares, man? This works perfectly. So now I can easily just select the thing I want here. Oh, beautiful, dude. Beautiful. This makes editing so much easier. Oh my goodness, dude. This is so sick. Big W. Big W. And now I can add variants super easy to this atlas. So now if I want to do like dirt paths that are not fully like this, I can just do that. In fact, let's even modify this a little bit. So we have this, but now we start taking some of this and making some grass. It's a little bit more patchy. Nothing crazy, but a little patchy. In fact, what am I doing? Let's just make this easier. See, I have like a little road almost. Save it. Go to here, we press init. Oh my goodness. Oh, I forgot. We need to clear. That's a super easy thing on init. That's an easy bug to fix. Perfect. So now if I want to do a little dirt road, easy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. There's a little issue there, but that's just a shader issue. That's not crazy. And now if you press play, this is actually starting to look like a real PS1 game. Nice. Very nice. Perfect. So now we can just draw stuff. You can just draw on this terrain easy peasy lemon squeezy. Oh, I'm so happy, dude. I'm so happy. The one thing is that this does indeed do like 2 textures or 4 textures per tile, which is fine for what we're doing, but it's not like the granular 1 texture per pixel thing we'd want. That's okay. If I want that granularity, we can just up the texture dimension. Now what if we up the brush size? So let's make this grid-like. Let's make this grid-like. How would we do that in the editor here? We can do a nested for loop. Row plus equals 4, or actually, I don't know what we're doing. What's this wind in your room? Oh yeah, I have like this, I have this ambience. I don't know, it makes me feel relaxed. It makes me feel cool. Not in like, oh, cool dude kind of way, but more like, oh, I feel cozy and relaxed and safe. Oh man, I love that kind of cozy season. Also, what's up, Doodle? Good to see you. As you can see, our custom editor is now working. We can actually have more than 3 tiles now. Right now we can do up to 16, and now we're just making these pretty. And it's super easy now. I can just select the things from here, place it. I solved the problem in my sleep last night, and I feel very tired because I don't think I actually rested while I was sleeping. But it's working. Custom tile editor, dude. Too loud, maybe on stream. No, you're good. Good. Thanks for pointing it out. Thanks for pointing it out. I'm not streaming with headphones today, or these past 2 days, so sometimes my balance is a bit not perfect. Yeah. Beautiful. So now we can have a bunch of different types of tiles here. Super duper happy. And it's pretty optimized too, because now we're just using a texture atlas for everything. Dreaming encoding, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool until you're like, don't get rest, but even then, it's like a good kind of, I don't know, exhaustion, because it's like, I don't know, like you're exhausted because you're excited about the thing you're doing and you just want to do it. Like I think today it just took 11 minutes to get everything working the way exactly I want it to. It's perfect. When that happens, it's just fantastic. It's like the best. Let's think about this. So we're gonna do a little trip through memory lane, because now we're getting to the point where I can actually start using my tool I've designed, and we can start playing around with this. And let's turn off the fog for right now so you can see exactly what we're dealing with here. Also, it's very cool because we're not using because we're not using this RGB values. When you look at the map now, it's just various colors of or various shades of black. So this is what the texture actually looks like. It's not the most pretty thing compared to the red, green, and blue thing, but we have way more options now. Way more options. And then turn back. And we also actually, this debug thing is no longer needed. Now we just need to do the map projection. So we should probably switch this. Yeah, this guy. For control equals yoink, point, paste. Replace this with our map projection instead. Did I ever sample it? I never did I? Yeah, we should probably do that. Text 2D. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing good, Noodle. Hopefully everything is going great. Got your rest, 8 hours, your Wheaties. What UV are we using? We're using in.normal UV. Are we packing this still? Are we data packing? Yeah, we're data packing, so we should probably... Oh, or we can just say it's fine and ignore it. Do we see our map yet? No. Oh, because that's still sampling the control map. No, we want our main text. There we go. Now we're back to here, guys. Beautiful. So now we can go back to consulting this for all the maps we're drawing here. Also, I'm not sure if you noticed, but I made the map like twice as big. Just so we can have more, I don't know, it just felt like it needed a little bit more space. Just a little bit more space. Oh, dude, this tool is so good now, because now we can, it's gonna be so easy to conform our designs to the map we're painting out here. Like, we have this beautiful reference to work off of. You can see both the texture and the tile base. Or you can see the map and the tiles. It's perfect. And then, don't mind me, just gonna use my cool little brush size stuff so you can paint big sections without having to do it pixel by pixel. Oh my goodness. Tool development is so sick, dude. So sick. And then let's try modifying this map as well a little bit. So let's switch this to terrain. Raise or lower terrain. Oh wait, oh, we can't manipulate the terrain without affecting the terrain painter. Yeah, we should probably have a toggle for that when we're done. When we're done painting, let's do that. Yeah, it's super easy to work with though. Just on scene GUI, if no, not source. That's source. What do I call it? Oh, it is source. I'm not using naming conventions. Dot enabled is false. We just don't do this UI stuff. So now if I want to modify the terrain, we can just flip that switch and paint to our heart's content without worrying about this. Sweet, and now we can go back to here And oh my goodness, you're still okay. Yeah, it's no, it's still doing the thing. Did I enable it? It's still painting. Very weird. If source is enabled, is not enabled, we return. So we don't do any of this logic here. That seems to make sense to me. Source, and then what do we do from here? We do. Let's see, you'd have something, another GUI element here. Editor, GUI, toggle, and oh, what is this rec position stuff? I don't remember. Ew, this is okay. Oh, okay, we have value. Okay, perfect. Source enabled. Okay. Don't need this anymore. When is this? Is this returning it's a bool. So what? We just flip it? Source. Oh, do we set it? Oh, I'm trying to know how this works. Source. No. We're gonna flip it. Source is enabled. Opposite. Let's see here. I got some fuel today. I got some sweet potato wedges and some beef sticks. The ultimate programmer fuel. Yeah. This does not work. This is what we do. No. It is enabled. This should work, I think. Okay. It's working. Okay, it's working. Okay, it's actually working. Perfect. Let's fix our little boo-boos here. I've caused some boo-boos. We're gonna fix them. And now we can actually flip on whether or not we want to be painting or not painting. Beautiful. And I think for this, I'm going to rely more on setting heights, in all honesty. Like, we can do our smoothing later, but well, what was the whole plan here? We're trying to get them to hop across, right? And get them used to platforming. So we need to add some kind of barrier where they're just forced to go across like here. So we actually should make this a large chasm. I'm loving this PS1 shader effect. It really is putting in so much work for us. So the player's here. And we said there's gonna be like the shelf. Like actually this is in the middle of this shelf, like this yellow area, that's gonna be a low area. So this actually makes perfect sense for this to be very raised and inaccessible to the player. Oh, also part of the reason I doubled the size of the map was because these mountains felt way too abrupt and unnatural. So having it bigger made the mountain ranges feel a little bit more natural and reasonable. I was looking through pictures I took during a road trip, and I was looking at the mountains that we saw in Appalachia, and we noticed just how large and grand they are in scale, but because of how grand they are, the sizes and changes seemed more gradual, even if they didn't seem like that close up to it. But in general, their shape and size seemed much more gradual. So we have this mountain that's going to keep them from trying to walk across, and we're probably going to do it on both sides too, where you simply cannot go across this way. So we have this more pushing them in this direction. Let's change the material a little bit, can we? Could we please change the material a little bit? I'd love to change the material a little bit. A little less debug. There we go. The slope still has to be big enough where the player can't just climb up it. But I imagine if we turn off the wall jumping stuff, that should solve our problems. And then we can go like you mentioned, the Metroidvania route, where once they unlock that wall grab ability, they can come back here and there might be something waiting for them on this little peak. Okay. Are you growing? I can't tell if you're growing or not. Even higher, please. It still kind of boggles my mind that Unity's built-in terrain system only supports 3 textures. Like, in my mind, when I used it, when I was younger, I was like, oh, this is the most super advanced, cool, crazy thing. You can do so much with it. But apparently I didn't do much with it, because I never actually encountered that limit. Or thought much of it if I did. Let's do 0.4. I wonder what the height of this texture map is, because I feel like it's a little too high for what we're doing. Like, I have to have this opacity set very low to do reasonable modifications to this. Or maybe I should just utilize it fully. And make over here super tall by comparison. Okay, I feel like we need to paint some textures here so we can see what we're actually, how everything's panning out. So let's start doing some of that. We should also play around with the terrain, the tree painter thing too, because it has a thing for populating a terrain with trees, which is actually pretty cool and applicable here. So I may play around with that as well and get a feel. Oh my goodness, painted over there by accident. Yeah, the only issue here is that my tool doesn't have any undo redo, so I have to, every change I made is a full-on commitment. We are committed to that change. That is a hard commitment. Yeah, I could try to implement that, but that seems like overkill for what I'm doing, and I'm good enough with just this. I might want to do a specific texture for the side of mountains, because they have really cool, and then what precipitated this as well is that I noticed that the side textures of mountains have they look very different depending on whether or not it's natural, informed by the environment, or if it's cut through. And over there, we're gonna have some places where it's like the mountain got cut through by human infrastructure. And it'll be cool to support that and be able to paint that detail manually, so super happy that we're able to support that. I should pull out the pictures just to reference even. Let me see, do I have it here? Pictures. No, let's go to my D drive. D drive. Pictures. Vacation. Oh no, this is a specific photo shoot. Nope. Yeah, I think I have some. Maybe here? Oh, it's old family stuff. Oh, maybe I have it in this one. No, I didn't take. Yeah. Yep. I remember now. I have to charge my camera then. Alright, we're gonna have a photo day another time. Or maybe I have to pull up on my phone manually. I don't know. It's a very distinct look. I'll have to look at it. We'll do a more texture-based stream later. Either tonight or another day. Like, look how small the character is in the face of this. Like, it looks so great, though. And then we also have to scale up this water, because where's our water object? I want to get a clear view of where the water level lies in our little world. There's cubes, that's like, here's the quad. There we go. Yeah, we're gonna make that GPU work. Gotta make that GPU work for us. Make it earn its pay. I think I might have two water lines, like one low one over here and then another one that's high for other parts of the map. Or we can implement water with, or we can use another terrain with different water elevations actually. That might be the move, is make another terrain where we can paint the water levels. Because then we can do other stuff like vector fields for the different directions the water should be moving in as well. So it doesn't seem, it's not actually that crazy. I just need to figure out how to encode. I think it's easy to encode vectorized values in a texture. I don't think it's that hard actually. Water floors, yeah, like not like water you can walk on, but like this water is is a plane or floor. I treat it like a floor. Just with no collision. It's just gonna have a death box. But if you right now it's a quad, so I can't just like if I rotate it, it's like the water's all slanted. It's like something has gone terribly wrong with the world's, with the Earth's rotation or gravity or something. But if we use a terrain, we can have control over water levels. And if we use the textures with the terrain, we can do like a vector field to change direction it goes. This means water has no transparency at all. I mean, we can add transparency. Though water is effectively going to be like a death thing in this game. For all intents and purposes. Like if you go into water, you die. Maybe it's not a good thing. Maybe I should actually. Thematically, for what we're trying to do, I think it makes more sense actually to have water not be an instant death thing, but... oh my goodness. Yeah, the GPU is struggling here. I think, like it's... I thought I made another instance. Yeah, we could make it transparent. In fact, now there's actually a case to do it because we actually have terrain underneath everything. It's no longer a void. The way it was before, it made sense to make it very opaque and that's it. Now though, transparency is always a pain though, but if the N64 is able to do it, why can't we? Though I'm not sure, I don't think I did. Yeah, I need to modify this shader to support transparency. That's gonna be a thing we do. That's gonna be a separate project. You have to build something underwater like an object, etc. It makes everything harder. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like the way the levels were before, it didn't really work well because there was nothing underneath the ground. But now that we actually have terrain underneath the ground, it kind of makes sense to have some transparency. Only question that comes to mind is making sure that players, and we talked about this before, I think, if players can be underwater, we have to design ways for them to get out in one way or another. Look, now we have a little lake. A little baby lake. What texture am I using for this? I know I have a transparent texture somewhere for water. Water spout. This is a more normal water. And then there's gradient. That looks pretty cool, actually. Actually, doesn't look. This would be cool for fog. This would really be really cool for an area where there's like fog, low-lying fog somewhere. That's actually kind of cool. Ooh, I actually like that quite a bit. Where's our water transparency stuff? Okay, whatever, we're just gonna do water. A waterfall. This one should have some transparency if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe I am mistaken. Let's see, what do you work with? Oh, we made you opaque. Yeah, because there's some weird stuff with transparency. Transparency in games is so, can be done and will surely give more life to the world, but you know, it depends on what you want to do. Yeah, and also like the problems it may or may not cause. Because transparency is a very funky thing in games. It's kind of undersold how transparent, how weird transparency is. There's a lot of odd stuff that goes on with it. And in different ways of implementing it too. And then where is... There we go. We have to have these guys added to it as well. Nope. I know there's a way to do it. Also, there's the consideration of platforms too, depending on the tech budget we have as far as performance. Because we can do more technically impressive stuff if we're only targeting Windows, but since we're targeting also WebGL and mobile, there's performance considerations we have to take into account with those platforms. That severely limits certain things. Like even with the cleaning mechanic, there's actually way faster ways of implementing it. But because we're targeting those platforms, I have to work within a specific confine and ditch some more performant ways. Or support both. Well, we can support the detective here on desktop and use a more performant option, but if you're on these other platforms, we use a less performant option, but that works. Oh, because we're using standard. Yeah, I forgot the... Yeah, there's weird stuff. Okay, we're not going to worry about this right now. I'll play around with this later. Right now, we just need to build the environment, and then water's going to be a whole thing. But it will be cool if we play around with water, cleaning up stuff too. Like, we have the fountains. Let's not feature keep, Marco. I'm thinking of ways of implementing pseudo fluid dynamics into this too on top of it. But no, we're not gonna do that here. I'm not gonna go crazy. I already feature creeped enough with this game. This is so good. Sweet potato and meat sticks. Ooh. The best combo. Simply the best. Okay, anyways. Yeah, we're painting environment. That's what we're doing. And I was getting a feel for the water level. And it seems we may have multiple water floors. Multiple water floors. Yeah, one for the low side. In fact, I might even cut this in half. So we're gonna have like a waterfall down there. And then we're gonna have a high shelf. There's a low water shelf and then there's a high water shelf that we're working with here. And then we're gonna have to deal with this little waterfall behavior here. But at least we have it. We have it here. Dude, I feel so smart in retrospect for using this triplanar texture mapping stuff on water fluid simulation. Yeah. And we're gonna add AI. You know, just gonna add some AI to it. Why not? An AI crypto miner. We just want our game to have everything. We want to make sure the players have all that they desire. Okay? Is it wrong for me to care? Is it wrong for me to care for the players? For shame. For shame. I didn't know caring too much was against the law. Oh, but Marco, you can't install crypto miners on people's machines with your game. Well, you know what? The people don't know what they want or need. I'm providing what they want. I'm providing what they didn't know they needed. Yeah, we have to make these higher. They're not high enough right now, so we're gonna have to modify this. It's cool with the... I'm not sure if it's an LOD thing or if it's because of the PS1 shader I wrote, but the vertex the vertices for these meshes get decimated the further away you go. Because it's being rounded to screen space. And I'm pretty sure that's what's happening. It's just cool seeing the detail just disappear instantly when I get further away from it. But if the player gets close to it, you see it perfectly. We're gonna bring this inspector back here where it used to belong. And we're gonna select, is the whole cube? Yeah. We're gonna try recreating the structures we had here. Also, the reason I wanted to do the make the map bigger is because these rivers, the way it was, these channels are still pretty big, and would normally be like a big bridge, not something small. But if I wanted to do smaller channels, the map was still too small to do. Like if I want to make a very small channel between here and here, so we can have the tiny bridge, that little anime bridge we saw, not anime, but the one I showed last time. We didn't have enough real estate for it. So now with this bigger map, these bridges we're saying, okay, they're firmly big bridges, and these other ones are going to be actually, we have space for smaller stuff. Big, instead of medium things, we have big things, and we have small things. Also, we need to just, yeah, I think we just have a need for more. So we're just going to make this bigger. Bigger. Raise lower terrain. Just make this brush tremendously big. Oopsie. Are we drawing right now? That was not my intention. Why are we drawing? Oh, I toggled it on. Well, at least we're for sure that the toggle works. And then over here. Yeah. Big structures now. Very big structures. I can even barely see the islands too. Like there's 3 islands here, we can't see any of them. They're just gone right now. Ooh. Okay, scared myself for a second. I thought I deleted everything. Yeah, there's something there. Jeez, you buried us so many things. It's like we're uncovering a lost civilization right now. Oh, we should put a lighthouse here. This would be cool. Yeah, we should do like a lighthouse and then like a little dock or something. Oh, that'd be really cool. Oh, we should move it in more then. Yeah, like something like this maybe. Because then we have space here for a dock if you wanted to. Sweet. And then I believe I painted everything here, but oh my goodness. And then let's go back to painting normally. Did we enable painting? No, we didn't. You can start like doing pseudo, like plotting out where the crops are gonna be. With this other texture we have here. Very nice. Very, very nice. And then go back to the green, or maybe even dirt, to have a little dirt path. And then shape out where the house is gonna lie. Put some grass adjacent. Can we make this brush smaller? Yeah, we have a size of 3 right now. I like to paint individual tiles here. And in fact, let's also emphasize the idea of, hey, your entry point's gonna be over here. Dude, I'm so happy we made our own we made our own little I can't get over it, man. Sue me, I'm happy. It's like the coolest thing ever. Save. And of course, there's some stuff we have to still fix here that's happening between the texture tiles, but that's not that crazy. I don't think it's gonna be that crazy to fix, so I'm not gonna worry too much about it. And then soon we can start thinking about the actual props in the world. I'm curious about how we're gonna make this bridge work, but we'll worry about that later. This is like a low shelf, and this should be like a high area. Yeah, actually, how would you deal with the... I guess we have to make a curved bridge then. Because they're bridges across different elevations. Like, how do you do that? Like, with roads, you can usually have roads that are just elevated up that go onto there. But what is there any Let's search up, actually. Let's Google. Also, what time is it? I might have to head out soon. I'll probably be streaming again tonight, too. Let me think. Footbridges... different elevations. Like, where do we see footbridges in real life with different starting and stopping points? Like, usually they're equal in a height. I can't remember seeing a bridge where it's on an elevation. Usually it's pretty symmetrical. The only time I see it is with cars, and it's usually very long. Like, it's not a sharp slope. It's usually a very gradual slope. Over a long distance. Which is why this is kind of interesting. This problem space I've just kind of given myself with this terrain I've built. Oh, we should probably get the dust map stuff added to this shader material as well. That's gonna be a thing we need to do. But that's easy. That's like a global material thing. And we can hook up this, since we have the infrastructure already for painting textures onto the environment, we can even do our dust maps, like our chaos dust thing, with this tool now. Instead of doing it in Aseprite like we did last time, like a jabroni. You can just do it on terrain. Call it a day, easy. Where's my brush size? My brush size. Oh, I'm so happy, dude. You cannot, my happiness cannot be overstated. And then since this is more normal, we can actually have some stone here. Oh, we can have like grassy stone. I keep trying to undo, and I'm forgetting that I don't have support for this right now. Like that, we can do like, okay, let's think about even the wall. Let's do a very simple wall with some mossy green grass kind of growing on it. Sharp in fact, let's go to that video. Let's go to that screenshot. This screenshot right here. Yoink. Where's whatever. We'll just look at it. Yeah, like it's very, even though it's stone, it's very green in how it is. So let's try to replicate this a little bit. Yoink. New texture, 32 by 32. We're gonna paste it. We're gonna have it tile on both axes. Tile on both axes. Thank you. And we're gonna kind of just stick to the greenish side of the blue spectrum for everything we're retexturing here. Little by little, work our way through drawing these shapes. You could try using circles and changing them a little bit, but I like doing it with the line tool because then you start having little imperfections, little oddities and shapes, which makes it feel more organic. And when you have that organic feel, it feels more natural, unique. You can still see the seams when tiles repeat, but it definitely makes it a little bit more difficult. And that's what we're going for here, just a little bit more difficult. And then let's go back here. Let's take a critical look. Yeah, it's like green, but it's also warm. So there's like a little bit of... In fact, let's even just copy and paste this into Aseprite and look at the colors a bit more. But yeah, there's actually some colors. I was sticking to the green-blue, which is kind of cold. But maybe you have to go into the more reddish side of the spectrum. Yeah, like you see what I'm saying here? Yeah, like there's colors here that go into the redder side. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna do a bit more brighter though, but does not hurt. Yeah, we're going way too cold with it. So let's start experimenting with a little bit more warmer colors here. And then replace this color with something a little bit more dark. And a little bit more saturated. We have to figure out what our mid-tone and highlight color are going to be. So we're going to do this. Make it a little bit. We can make this a dark color. This is more like the highlight over here, but I think we're going to make our highlight an actual more pure gray color so we can see what the base color tone is. And have this be more, the green be more like a shadow that's casted from the environment. And then maybe even have another color tone that's a little bit more darker. Yeah. This may be the move. And maybe introduce one more color. A step above and... yeah, I think this might be it. Yes. Yes, this works very well. To create that kind of... yes, that creates the contrast we're looking for. Beautiful. Beautiful. Mwah. That's a nice stone. That's a lovely stone. I like this stone. T grass stone .png. And then just do that a couple more times, right? Let me replace all these colors with this. Replace all this color as well. With that. And then we can just start working on making this pop a little bit more. I love texturing, man. I love doing pixel art. It's very relaxing, very therapeutic. Very cobbly, yes, exactly. Cobbly, and then not just cobbly, because we also have this stone. That's a bit cobbly as well, not as much. The stone pieces are bigger. This one feels like there is some life growing on it. There's like a layer of greenery. That's like the intention the vibe we're trying to hit with this. And if we can get that, that means we did our job well. And that's gonna be like the perfect kind of stone to have by the water, by this running river, and adjacent to all this wildlife. Nature is beautiful, man. Creation is a beautiful, beautiful thing. It makes you think like, makes you understand how Bob Ross enjoyed Alaska and its sights, and just a painting creation, the work of a creator, or the creator. And in some sense, we're kind of participating in that too. Like, we're making our own little world with this game. I mean, it's something that's kind of, I'm not gonna say take it for granted, but it's something that's overlooked. That it's kind of, making games is so cool because you're making this world that people can explore and interact with. I'm sure most people who make games are aware of that fact alone, but it does not get old how cool that is. This seems a little too shiny with that. I was gonna do a pixel art. I was preparing a pixel art presentation. I used to give lectures at my university a long time ago, and I've been in the process of reworking my slides for it, and potentially doing a stream presentation one day. And I've just been thinking critically about what information would be pertinent to what information would be good to provide in there that isn't always provided or not always easy to find or explicitly talked about. Make it not just theoretical or philosophical, but also provide some concrete utility to people who are trying to do pixel art for something specific. Largely for games, I imagine. Oh, this is coming together beautifully. Absolutely, positively, beautifully. Yes, sir. God is good, man. God is good. This is great. Look at this. Mwah. I'm loving this. This is so good. I was super exhausted earlier, and this just kind of revitalizing me right now. Like, if coding the rest of that UI within like 11 minutes was a big victory, this is like a rejuvenation. This is like giving me a little bit of that life back. A little bit of highlights here. And it seems like there's a lot to be done left, but remember, we're tiling this. So this is probably 4 times closer to done than we think. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 times even. So we're almost done with this. Because every time we're painting, we're also painting in 7 other places. Or 8 other places, actually. Including the mid-tile. And then having a little bit of the darker areas where ambient occlusion would probably happen IRL. Yeah. It's coming together nice. A little bit more ambient occlusion, a little bit of AA, Alcoholics Anonymous right there. Ooh, buddy. That's a very interesting looking rock. I might even just break it apart right here and make it feel like it's shattered almost, or split in 2, or maybe it's 2 different rocks. Who knows? They're just best buddies who are really close with each other. You can never be too sure about that. Every rock's gotta have a friend. And in fact, this whole texture is like a whole little family of rock buddies. Bestest of friends. Ba, 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 ba. Adding some darkness to the seams. This is, you know, you're good. Like, this is getting good when you zoom out and you forgot where you're working. Like, I can't remember which rock I was working on. The tiling is working properly. Heck, even knowing that this is tiled multiple times, it's kind of hard to tell. It's kind of difficult. Maybe we should have some that are a little darker. They just don't, for whatever reason, aren't receiving that much light. Like maybe just get a single dot of light or two, and that's it. Just different textures embedded in there. Because why not? Why not do that? Spice it up a little bit. Then have some where it only, the highlight reaches at the edge, like at the very lip of it, but yeah. Yesterday I was talking about how much I love programming. This reminds me how much I love doing pixel art. Very different joys, but joys nonetheless. And honestly, I used to think like, oh, like pixel art's only really fun when I'm doing characters, but honestly, I find the most joy in it when I'm doing nature things. Tiles, like this. Simple textures. Things that might seem very mundane or boring to others. Ooh, I find immense joy in them. Immense joy. And I think that completes our texture. Buddy. Bam. We have like a Super Nintendo era texture that looks fantastic. That looks like it would be right at home in an RPG. Why is there two? Okay, I think I copy and pasted it. So let's try drawing it here. Nice. And I might change this, the way we do the UV mapping, so that it distorts less. But for now, this actually works pretty decently. This works pretty decently. And I think if we sink this terrain down into waters, it'll work even better. In fact, let's just do that real quick so there's like actual... In fact, let me also grab this bridge we had here and bring her on back. Getting a view for what this may look like. Yeah. Let's add even more mountains here that cast more distinct shadows. Terrain, raise or lower, and turn this off. Thank you. Shoosh, that's a little too big, buddy. A little bit more opacity, a little bit bigger as well. I'm gonna have to start heading out soon, guys. So I may continue this later when I get back. It's cool, you can see with this highlight, you can see where the texture's supposed to be, where the vertexes are supposed to be, but then you see how our PS1 decimation reduces it. Really freaking cool. And then, how far is the shadow being casted? The shadow distance does not seem very big. Or maybe it's casting exactly where it should, and our sun angle is just not high enough. That could very well be the case. And let's just grab some of these buildings here, because why not? I think the other idea we want to explore is that there's like, this is like a, even though this is farmland, this used to be more, have a lot more modern things, and then everything fell into disrepair and disarray for various reasons. But maybe there's like a much more advanced like civilization or something that used to exist that no longer does. Get ready to head out? You're heading out now? One second. Just let me know when you head out so I can go with you, okay? Tires are low. Oh, throw going in the Honda then. Do I fit? Logistics. But yeah, that's like the idea we're exploring right now. So it'd be kind of cool to have this juxtaposition of like nature with old relics of a time that once was and potentially may not be anymore. And then let's go back to the texture stuff, the terrain manipulation things, because we need to make this a little bit more bigger, this waterway. So we're gonna do set height, set to like 0, very strong opacity. And then set this to a height of like 90, I think. So this doesn't feel as low. These fields here. I can't see much with the black texture there. Even though this is lowland, there still should be a distinction between here and there. And then let's go back to our little texture painting. And let's put the dirt here. It's okay if it's a little jank. Like we said, we're trying to go for old feeling, not old video game feel. So some weird artifacts, it's fine. Though I still feel like this wall needs to be significantly more steep. So we're gonna do a little bit more on this. Go back, raise our lower terrain. I know there's gonna be people who are gonna break this. I guess we just have to accept that. Like, there are gonna be people who exploit and get to places they shouldn't. We just have to be cool with that. Come on, up a little bit. Okay, now as a player, yep, that feels go-aroundable. Oh yeah. I will get there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. As soon as you open up the testing, oh dude, everything's gonna be breaking. Everything is just loose now. Paint texture. I keep forgetting I can't undo redo. Maybe I should implement that. Stop being a lazy bum and just do the thing that is scary and that has haunted me. It may not haunt me. It's not been that big of an issue, kind of. For my work, since we implement, we're basically kind of making a Photoshop just for 3D. Everything we do has to be undo redo, and it's a big pain. Making every single manipulation or change or action in an application be subject to undo redo is such a big thing. That we just take for granted. Okay. And then let's start putting some blocks here just to see how our platform is going to look like. Our platform puzzle is going to look like. Why are you over there? Why don't you make game objects in the middle of my view? Here we go. And you have to be a ground tag. Beautiful. Down here. I'm gonna make these platforms somewhat pretty big. And then let's see if our character can even make these jumps. Okay, save it, play it. Let's see what we get. Let's see what we find ourselves with. Oh my, ooh, what? Oh, we clipped. Oh, we made the terrain so big that the player can is below the line. Okay, now we're where we're supposed to be. Okay. Yeah, these platforms are kind of far apart. That's okay. Time to go. Alright. Alright guys, this is the progress for today. Or for now. I'm gonna probably stream later tonight too, working more on this. Let's just look at our dirt block a little bit. And then, coming, 1 second. I just want to see our little stones. There's our stones. And then what view do we get from over here? That's super cool. I'm just thinking about where we're gonna place enemies and stuff. Like I can totally see like a little, oh dude. Like there's so much, there's like such a big canvas for possibilities for enemy placements, NPCs, items. Like I'm just, this is so exciting, man. And this just feels like an actual place now. It's starting to turn into a real place. I'm so excited. Lots of streams. Oh yeah, we're getting there. Yeah, I'm saving my progress. Okay, 1 second. All right, guys, 1 second. I have to head out with my family. Get status. Yeah, I don't know. I like working on stream. It's just, I don't know. I feel like when I'm streaming, I'm more focused as opposed to changes. It's more focused compared to just working by myself. All right, push to origin, commit our progress. All right, thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys later. Make sure not to make her wait. Yeah, definitely. All right,